As much as I want a family vacation, I don't think I could entertain all these cruise ponies. My hooves are pretty full taking care of Flurry Heart.
I guess we were just so excited by the idea of a family cruise.
All right, I guess we better turn this ship around.
Wait, Iron Will. What if I offered you a deal? If I agree to do whatever princess activities you want, will you promise that my family gets to do the activities they want?
Sis, you don't have to do that. We want you to enjoy yourself too.
I don't want the vacation to end now, or let down all of these ponies who are looking forward to seeing us. So what do you say, Iron Will? Do we have a deal?
Princess Twilight has a deal.
Have you ever felt like you needed to make others happy by sacrificing your own happiness? It could look like spending your money on something a friend or family member wants when you're not sure if you can afford it. It could look like giving away your time to your family and friends when you'd rather be watching your favorite show. I won't argue that we need to sometimes make sacrifices for the people we care about. In fact, I have a video on why making sacrifices is important as shown by E102 Gamma from Sonic Adventure. I'll link that in the card above. But while making sacrifices is important, we need to also make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, because if we're not, it's going to take a mental toll on us. Twilight deals with the exact same problem in the My Little Pony episode, Once Upon a Zeppelin, so in this video, let's dive into her story to see what it teaches us about setting boundaries and why prioritizing our happiness is important. In the episode, Twilight decides to take a break from her princess duties and go on a Zeppelin cruise with her family. At first, things seem to be going well, but her plans take an unexpected turn when she realizes the cruise is actually a princess-themed event hosted by Iron Will. Because of that, Twilight is expected to participate in all the activities the cruise patrons paid for. Iron Will even warns her that if she and her family back out, he'll cancel the entire trip, disappointing all the passengers who came for a princess experience. She wasn't expecting to take on more princess duties, but Iron Will places that responsibility on her when she was on board. You could argue that her parents are partly at fault for signing up for the cruise without realizing what Twilight would have to do. But they genuinely thought that this would be a simple, relaxing getaway for the family. Nothing more.
Iron Will prides himself on providing a quality vacation experience. But if Twilight Sparkle and her family don't want it, Iron Will can cancel the cruise and break the hearts of every princess-adoring pony on board.
This leaves Twilight feeling conflicted. On one hoof, she wants to fulfill her responsibilities as a princess and avoid disappointing the cruise patrons. On the other, she wants to enjoy her time on the cruise so she can get a break from all the princess obligations. Hoping to balance both, Twilight convinces herself that she might still enjoy some activities with her family while meeting her responsibilities to Iron Will and the cruise patrons. After all, she had told her family at the start of the trip that seeing the Northern Star was the most important activity to her. So as long as she gets to do that, she feels that she can still honor her duties on the cruise. And with all that in mind, she agrees to Iron Will's deal. On paper, this feels like a reasonable compromise, but in actuality, this is where things start falling apart. Because once Twilight committed to the deal without setting boundaries, the demands didn't stop. The grand prize winner begins following her around everywhere on the Zeppelin. She's pulled into autograph signings, an Alicorn Q&A, and non-stop appearances, none of which leave her time to rest or time with her family. And every chance Twilight gets to spend time with her family slips away. When she misses the opportunity to go barrel riding with her mother at Niagara Falls, her mom gently encourages her to take some time for herself. Even Cadance echoes the same message to her. But Twilight brushes it all off by telling herself that as long as her family is having fun, that's what really matters. And here's the thing, Twilight isn't actually ignoring her own happiness, she's postponing it. She keeps telling herself that if she just pushes a little bit more, if she makes everyone else happy first, then the vacation will feel complete. And that's a trap a lot of us fall into. It's noble of Twilight to make these sacrifices so she can make others happy, though she doesn't understand that it shouldn't be on the account of her own happiness. I'm sure we've all been there many times too. Feeling like we need to give in to others' expectations because we want to be good, kind, and selfless people. But being a good person doesn't mean ignoring your own needs and wants. We're people too. So wanting boundaries doesn't make you selfish, it makes you human.
I miss them? I miss the northern stars?
You were right, Twilight. They were breathtaking.
Well, we wish you'd been here to see it, Sweet Pea, but we're sure you're making a whole bunch of cruise ponies happy.
I'm so happy I could cry.
Oh, yeah. The cruise ponies are happy. My family is happy. Even Iron Will is happy. You know who isn't happy? Me!
My hoof!
I'm sorry, but maybe that wouldn't have happened if you weren't practically standing on my tail. Not even my real family stands so close. Ugh.
Boy, have I felt this. I remember wanting to get angry like that after giving so much of myself, only to see my own wants and needs go unmet. She missed seeing the northern stars with her family, the thing that she wanted to do most on this vacation. Had she only set boundaries with Iron Will and the cruise patrons from the start, she wouldn't have been in this mess. All to say, I don't blame Twilight for getting so angry. She has every reason to be frustrated. Trying to let out her frustration, Twilight sits by the ledge of the Zeppelin, though while she seems to have calmed down by this point, it's apparent that she's still upset about how her vacation turned out. Cadence tries to comfort her, however, the conversation doesn't really seem to go anywhere. Twilight expresses how she wanted her family and the cruise patrons to have the vacation they wanted, but it's pretty clear that it only left her frustrated since she didn't get what she wanted. Being a princess like Twilight, Cadence also understands what it's like to have others demand too much from her. So in an effort to empathize with Twilight, she offers her words of wisdom on why setting boundaries is important. Let's see what she has to say about it.
Well, sometimes ponies want more from a princess than you can give, and it can be hard to know where to draw the line.
You seem to know pretty well.
Once I had Flurry Heart, the line was easier for me to see. You will always have obligations as a princess, but you also have an obligation to yourself.
Hearing Cadence say that out loud puts everything Twilight's been struggling into perspective. Even though Twilight has obligations to others, she also has an obligation to herself. And that's a lesson I think we all need to remember. Talking about this reminds me of a time in my life when I was helping my parents more than I was mentally capable of. Prior to moving back in with my parents, I was living in college on my own. I had been living a pretty independent life, managing my own time and responsibilities. So when I later moved back in with my parents and took on more responsibility at home, the change hit me harder than I expected. They needed help with finances, and at the same time, I was still getting used to working a full-time job, one I honestly hated. On top of that, I was fixing things around the house, going to family events, and constantly putting my own needs and wants last. Trying to balance all that took a serious toll on me mentally. What made it even worse was how trapped I felt. I knew I needed more time for myself, but I was terrified to say anything. I was worried that speaking up would make me seem selfish, and that fear made me feel like a bad person for just wanting boundaries. Seeing Twilight struggle with this helped me realize that wanting boundaries didn't make me abnormal or selfish. It made me realize that I need to take my own feelings seriously. And once I accepted that, I knew I needed to say something. So I told my parents how overwhelmed I had been feeling, and I'm really glad that I did. We talked things through, and now we understand each other's boundaries much better. I still have responsibilities to my parents, but I now have more independence and time to myself, and having that balance has made me feel a whole lot happier. So if you're unhappy or stretched too thin, talk about it. You deserve happiness, and the people who truly care about you will want that for you too.
Behold, the northern stars!
You did all this for me? This is amazing! Thank you. And Shining Armor, I can't believe you're up there even though you're airsick.
I am not air.
Okay, maybe I'm not feeling great.
Whatever you say.
Now this is the only activity I need.
Thanks for watching, and as always, we are Eternal for Life.